Hello and welcome back to The Wi-Fi is Out. We've been gone for a couple weeks.
We've been gone for a bit. We've definitely been a little tied up. We were supposed to originally have some other episodes recorded, but that kind of fell through. But yeah, so we are back. Gonna try to get back to our normal schedule and everything so you guys aren't missing any fun content. And we have a doozy of an episode. It is our first mega episode. Woo! You know, like some fake applause in the background, right?
Yep.
It'll be our first big mega episode because we have a lot to talk about, especially stuff that has happened over the past couple weeks in both movies, gaming, and a real life event, honestly.
Oh, yeah, a lot of stuff happened in 2 weeks.
Okay, so do you want to start us off on the first topic for today, Double T?
It is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Which is the second one now, right?
It is the second one in the Spider-Verse trilogy.
Do we happen to know if it'll be the last one? Any announcements on that? At least for the time being.
No, the next movie is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay, so there will be more. Alright, so you saw it, over when it came after it came out. How do you feel about it? What would you rate it out of 10? We'll start off with that.
10.
10 out of 10? Really?
Yes.
Comparing this to any other movie you've rated as a 10 out of 10, this is up there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you to answer.
I would be proud to have this movie in my top 5.
Wow, that's surprising, but good to hear.
But I will say, I do not think it beats the first one.
Alright, so this is your limelight, man. Go on, tell us about it. Tell us the ups, the downs. Spoilers ahead, obviously, for anyone who's listening.
You start the movie in Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy version's world, which is watercolor paint. So right off the bat, they show us a different art style.
Okay, that's good.
And it just shows us what's happened to her after the first movie. And then a Renaissance vulture attacks.
Okay, I mean, I'm waiting for you to describe it, man. You're the one with the information. I'm just...
I thought you would have reacted like, oh, what do you mean Renaissance? I thought you just said watercolor. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll be honest, so I didn't see the movie. I have little idea what exactly is going on in these movies outside of each universe has a different style to it.
So once this Renaissance vulture pops up,
okay,
Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Woman Jessica...
What's a Renaissance vulture?
Spider-Woman Jessica Drew comes out of portals. And we learn that through the events of the first Spider-Verse movie, rifts in space and time have opened up, which led to villains popping up in the other universes.
Okay, so different villains in different universes, kind of like the Spider-Man movie, or like that kind of like to put it into a more...
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay.
Because it turns out Sony has a plan.
Okay, so
they're not just making horrible movies.
Right, continue on your original train track, and then we'll get into that. Because I didn't know it was a whole separate thing. All right, go ahead.
Oh no, like a lore dump just happens in the first 10 minutes.
Okay, so continue.
And then once she joins the Legion of Spider People, that's not their official name. I don't think they had one.
Okay.
We switch back to Miles in the main villain Spot.
Okay.
Who can make a spot and teleport to anywhere. His powers get advanced throughout the film, and he will be the main bad guy in the next movie too, because he's able to multiverse travel now.
Oh, see, that's interesting. That I did not get from the trailers. He just kind of seemed like he was some side character, to be honest.
They did announce that he was the villain for both movies, which makes sense because all the spider people are trying to stop the anomalies because it's breaking down the world and destroying them. So it makes sense if somebody can hop universes.
And is creating the anomalies, essentially, I would assume, right?
He is the anomaly in this situation.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to stop him.
Yes.
That's their goal. But they just don't necessarily know it yet.
And then, after we catch up with Miles, meets back up with Gwen Stacy, the Spot gets away to Spider-Man India's world.
Okay.
Where it's kind of the last time we see him as like the villain in the movie, but he gets upgraded at this point. And then we meet Spider-Punk, which has, imagine if you cut out magazines, like outline, he has that art style around him all the time.
I'm unfamiliar with this,
I
but
don't
I
know.
will assume it's good, and you described it perfectly.
I don't know how to describe the art style.
It's just an outline? I don't know.
It looks like magazine.
Okay. Magazine what?
The paper that they
Okay.
use. And you know how people make collages?
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like that
Oh,
jumbled
see,
together.
now and the collages. That's all you had to say. That makes more sense now. I can kind of picture it.
And then we learn about canon events where apparently every Spider-Man has a captain that dies. Every Spider-Man gets bit. Every
A
Spider-Man
captain?
of the police force.
But Uncle Ben wasn't a captain of the police force.
Uncle Ben is the first person who dies that gives them the idea of like great power comes great responsibility type of thing.
But then what? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt here. I just have to get this answered canonically. You need to find me the captain that dies in the original Spider-Man movies before I'll believe this BS. Because the only person that died was Uncle Ben. And he wasn't a captain of the police force. He was just an old man, an old uncle.
Maybe not for every Spider-Man.
But you just said. I'm sorry to tear it down, but like that was a curveball I was not expecting you to say.
It's a lot of captains that die.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that someone important just has to die?
No, apparently it has to be like the captain of the police force in this scenario.
Oh, okay. I'll follow along. I'll withhold my question. Strike it from the record, you know.
They didn't go like list by list, like, oh, this is what has to. They just showed.
Spider-Ham had his chicken cop die.
They showed us how Uncle Ben and the other versions that each character has dies.
Okay.
How a captain dies,
Okay.
and most of the time somebody from their family dies.
Okay, I guess I can kind of follow that.
So at this point, we get to see live action with cartoon versions in this, which is
so
kind of cool.
They pull the live action movie scenes?
Yes.
Wow.
Which breaks one of my theories, by the way.
Do you want to describe that theory now or wait a little bit?
I could do it now.
Okay.
My theory was in No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
His name is escaping me. Not Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Wait, isn't that the current?
Tobey Maguire's the old one. Tom Holland's the new one.
Okay. Tobey Maguire was the old Spider-Man in Spider-Verse, the first one.
But since they brought the real life one, then that breaks your theory that he is no longer that Spider-Man.
Yeah, because it's obvious that live action and cartoon can't exist in these worlds.
Okay, I'm following.
Because we also get to see a live action Prowler as well.
Who?
That's his Miles Morales' uncle.
Yeah, I know who Prowler is, but what do you mean a live action one? There wasn't any live action that I know of.
The guy from Community.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember so bad.
I don't know his name. But he's the entire reason why Miles Morales even exists in the first place.
I know who you're talking about too, and I'm picturing the face. I just can't think of the name. He was Abed's friend, right?
Yes.
Okay, I know who we're talking about. If
He also
anyone else
showed
watches
up
it, tell me.
in the first Spider-Man movie, too.
Interesting. So that's cool that they're making him the Prowler, I guess. But now it's the question of who's going to be Miles in, the live action.
Well, technically, Miles is in the MCU already.
Oh, okay. Anyway, continue along your train path.
And then the spider chase from the trailers happened.
Was it as good as the trailers kind of show it to be? Better, worse?
I think it's a good scene.
Okay.
Like, for what it was.
It sounds like there's a butt coming.
I felt like there was too many Spider-Men. Honestly.
What do you mean? That's the whole point of the movie.
Is the entire time I was just looking around like, do I recognize this one? Do I recognize that one?
Okay. I'm gonna for the average watcher out there, they're just gonna enjoy the scene for what it is. For someone of your expertise, they're gonna be looking at every tiny Spider-Man and be like, do I know this one? I fully expect for you at this point for you to have a full poster sized picture of this scene and going through and detailing which is which.
Oh no, that's what YouTube is for.
That's what we're for. What do you mean? That's a whole episode, right?
I mean,
No, I'm joking.
If we get to that point, I will dedicate.
You'll dedicate a whole episode to what we'll do is we'll put a picture on the screen for all you guys watching to see, and we'll number each individual Spider-Man, and then we'll go through and we'll have Double T list off what they are, what universe they're
in
from.
the future, if a scenario like this happens again.
Okay, you can continue. I just had to point that out because I thought it'd be really funny.
Then the movie ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, you said they were making a third one, so wouldn't that kind of be how you want it to end?
Yes, but this was a super obvious cliffhanger. It's not did he die or not. This movie used to be called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. And the next one used to be called Across the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Okay.
So, if anything, I'd say the ending was the worst part for me. Because it was
Really?
just that much of a cliffhanger.
Oh, shoot. Well, I mean, as long as you enjoyed the movie and it was up there, it means that even though the ending wasn't great, still a good movie.
Yeah.
Any other important information we got?
I forgot
from it,
to mention
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2099. He is the best bad good guy I've seen in a while.
Oh, that's the really, really buff Spider-Man that can't use webs, right? Or can't climb walls or something. He has to use his claws to climb walls.
He has claws, and I think he has laser webs
Ooh.
to make up for not having webs.
Dang, interesting. There was a whole video about him going that he doesn't have the ability to climb walls like a normal Spider-Man. He has to use the claws.
Oh, I
For
think
some
that's
reason?
it. I think that's it.
Yeah, so he's so much stronger than the other Spider-Man because he has to physically work out to keep up. Whereas Spider-Man naturally just is buff. But you can still work out as Spider-Man. It'd be like a gorilla, where a gorilla just has natural strength, but if it decided to work out, it would be unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't really want to go into more to really talk about the Spider-Verse movie.
Okay, was there anything from the Spider-Verse movie that gave you some new theories? The whole thing about real live action?
Oh, that whole Sony has a plan thing.
Yeah, that.
So when Morbius came out, we were all calling it dumb because No Way Home's rules on the multiverse did not give permission for Vulture from the MCU to travel to the Morbius world.
Okay.
But this one gave a reason.
Okay. You gonna explain the reason, or?
Well, just that because of the first Spider-Verse movie, space-time got ripped open
So people just could go anywhere randomly.
Yes, like they don't choose to; they just randomly get put.
I mean, that's a better explanation, I guess.
So their next movie is Madam Web, who basically runs this whole spider multiverse thing that keeps all
Isn't
of
she
them.
like the god of Spider-Man or something?
God of Spiders or something.
Yeah. Okay.
She uses Spider-Man a lot. Yeah.
That's something I'm excited for. That's more up my alley.
And then after that, they have I think his name is El Mucho movie.
What?
He's a Mexican like wrestler, enemy of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. He's an enemy of Spider-Man. I was like, I don't really understand how this pertains to what
And
we're talking
then
about.
a Craven movie. So
Craven the Hunter?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Okay, that'll be good.
So maybe we see plans coming together in this little Sony universe.
But then that begs the question, why are they doing villain-centered movies now?
Oh, because they're trying to cash out on the whole Spider-Man thing.
I guess, yeah, because they're probably going to lose the rights soon, aren't they?
No, they still have the rights.
Oh, really?
Marvel will probably have to pay exaggerated number, $500 billion.
I mean, Marvel has the money, to be fair, if they really wanted it that bad.
Actually, not really.
Oh, no, the writer's strike.
Well, not because of the writer's strike. Apparently, Disney's not doing that well.
I mean, to be fair, and this is no direct lash out at anyone that works for or knows or anything about Disney, but Disneyland and Disney World are overrated and it costs so much money for them to maintain. Like, it's ridiculous. The amount of money they have to spend on these theme parks just to keep them going, even though, it's not the best. Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion for another time that I don't want to get into right now.
But I think that is it for Spider-Verse.
Okay, so on to our next amazing topic. We recently went to Lilac City Comicon over in our area, which was fantastic and really fun. We had a pretty good time, I would say. It ended up being on a weekend, which we'll get into kind of in the transition, but I was expecting a different time of when it was going to happen. We ended up going, and day one, it was a 2-day thing. I went both days. Double T went
one.
Yeah, he went only the first day. And what would you like? Did you have a good time? You enjoy it? It was.
I mean, it was fun for the first day.
It was a lot of people. It was packed on the first day. We were in line for 30 minutes or so to get in. We showed up like right when it opened, or like
almost for like an hour.
Was it almost
2?
an hour? Yeah.
No, if we would have stayed in the right line.
So we show up and we're all excited and stuff. Like we're in costume. And we show up. We get in line, and the line is just backed up like around the side of the building. It was insane. So we go, we're waiting in line, about 30-ish minutes had passed, and we get, I would say, about like 3/4 of the way through the line, and then we realized that there was actually 4 lines. But everyone was just in one line because nobody knew there was more than one line. So everyone started playing like hopscotch with these lines to even them out. And we got in like 5-10 minutes after that because they just breezed on by.
Multiple people cut into the 4th line and got away with going in there.
Yeah, there was a lot of cutting, but at the same time, like, nobody knew that was the line. I didn't even know it was a line until we were even looking at, like, the security guy who seemed to work there, and he didn't even really know what was going on. It was like, okay, it was a mess. But once we got in, it was better. I don't know the exact number of, like, stalls, but there was enough that it took us, like, I'd say we spent, like, the most time we spent at a stall was maybe 5-10-ish minutes, like actually like looking at the stall. Other than that, it's usually like an average of 2-3 minutes or so.
Oh, you guys took like 10 minutes per stall, yes.
Oh yeah, we went to every stall where I was looking at all the stuff. There was a few that I didn't really care about too much, and so I was trying to move on. But it took us 6 hours to cover the entire thing on day one. We were there for 6 hours the first day.
I mean, your group.
Yeah. We were there for 6 hours, went through, checked all the stalls. You got some cool stuff.
Yes.
What'd you get?
I made the most horrible mistake.
I'm so glad you made this mistake. And I'm so glad I got to catch you and be like, hey, you want it.
I asked for a Zelda poster with a Korok. And you want to know who was on the poster?
It was Link.
Yeah.
It was Link. You asked specifically, like, can I get the Zelda with the Link? And nobody said a word until I called you out on it as they went to get the poster for you. And I was like, do you mean Link? And you're just like, oh no. It's just like did I say Zelda? It's like, yes, you did. And then you also went into Comicon with a plan to get something signed. You want to tell us the story on how you ended up with not one but two signed Funko Pops?
So, Funko Pops like to make exclusives or chase figures, which are very much harder to find,
Well, they
especially
cost
when
more.
you buy them online, which they can go for double or higher.
Triple the price, depending on, I would assume, the rarity of the original Funko Pop and then the new one.
I wanted the exclusive because I knew what it looked like, but I was not willing to pay over double the price for it.
Yeah, that's just too much. It's a Funko Pop. At the end of the day, unless there's something super fancy like someone signed it or is like the last one of its kind, it shouldn't really be worth that much. Just saying.
So I just went with the basic one.
Okay.
I immediately went to Ross Marquardt.
I don't know how to say his name, and I'm not going to pronounce it because I think I said Marquand, and I think I was wrong.
Then we will just go from Ross from now on. I'm so sorry if
he butchered his name, and he's gonna hear this, and he's gonna never forgive you, and he's gonna take back your signed Funko Pops. He's like, "How dare!"
I got a Infinity Ultron signed.
Yeah, you were in line about an hour or so, maybe longer. It was a long line.
For the first time, yeah, it was.
Yeah. But you got signed, you got to meet him. How was that?
Good. He's
you
a
say
person.
anything to him? I mean, he's a person, yeah, but it's still cool to meet someone. It'd be no different than meeting Ryan Reynolds. Like, they're famous.
They're people still.
Okay, so you got it signed, and that's cool. How'd you end up with the second one?
I turned around at a Funko station.
Which we brought him to.
I'm pretty sure I was the one who noticed it.
You noticed it, but it took me pointing it out for you to be like, I gotta get it.
Yes. Which in total cost me $80 to get it signed, bought, and a case bought for it.
So to be fair, how I believe it happened, or how I remember it happening, was we were looking at the Funko Pops, and you pointed out like, "Oh my goodness, there's an Infinity Ultron," and I was like, you could get it signed, and you're like, "It's the exclusive one," and then you had to take like a triple check at it to see if it was the super special rare one, and when you saw the weapon in its hand, you're like, "It is. I have to get it," and I convinced you to get it, and then you got it, and you got it signed, and it was only like what, $18?
Yeah.
Which, how much is it normally?
Most likely, that's the price, usually. Most likely, they did not know who voiced the character.
And that the person that voiced the character just happened to be at the Comic-Con signing stuff.
Like, I'm pretty sure I got a steal. Because I would, like, at least double the price. Especially, like, you could go get it signed, like, right now.
Keep talking. I gotta go grab something to show Double T, and then I'll describe to you guys what I have to show him. So to preface why I have this and why it's going to be hung up in the apartment is I have really nice silverware, and Double T wants to get other silverware for no reason other than to have more silverware, which we don't need. So if he buys the silverware and just throws it in the drawer with my other really nice silverware, I'm hanging this in the bathroom. So what it is a Tony Stark, a really buff Tony Stark, sitting on toolboxes in only his boxers.
Why is this bad?
Because it's stupid. I mean, it looks cool. To be honest, now that I look at it, like, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I thought about buying a poster from that person.
What poster? Not the Iceman one. Oh, you didn't see the Iceman? Oh, thank God.
No, well, I can't remember now. Like,
you were supposed to hate it. That way, you were like, no, you can't hang that up in the bathroom. But now apparently it doesn't matter. Well, dang it. Never mind. Now it's not getting hung up in the bathroom if you buy the silverware. It's just supposed to be stupid and funny. Because that would never be anything we would normally buy outside of a joke.
Okay. I don't think you understand how much I need infinity forks. That's what I'm calling them.
You don't need infinity forks. Unless that fork can hold an infinite amount of food at one time, you don't need it. We have really nice golden forks. But anyway, that's what I bought.
I bought a $45 plush turtle. Just because it was watermelon.
You did. Well, to be fair, so I got it's a image. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the person. I literally had the name memorized the other day. So an image, a picture from a person of Grahatia from Final Fantasy XIV, because he is the best character in the entire game, every expansion included. He is the number one character, and if you ever played Final Fantasy XIV, you would know why. And I don't want to spoil it because it's a lot of storyline to get to it, but he is the most like heartbreaking character that I've ever had Square Enix put into a Final Fantasy game. At least for me personally. Other than that, I mean, I bought like 2 other pictures. I didn't really get a whole lot. I got a crocheted Charmander, which was pretty cool. It's like a really adorable little Charmander. It's like the size of my fist.
Is that what my turtle is? Crochet?
Yeah, crocheted.
Ah.
Yeah. It was by a different person, though, than where you got your turtle, because they didn't have Charmander stuff. And I wanted a different Pokemon, because they had, like, Bulbasaur and Squirtle, but they didn't look as good as the Charmander. So I was like, well, I guess this is what I'm going to get, because if I'm going to pay, like, $15, then I'm getting a good-looking one.
I just wish I had more money.
I'll be honest, I did. I wish I did, too. There was a lot of stuff that I would have bought if I had hundreds of more dollars. But I'm also glad I didn't have hundreds of more dollars, because I would have had so much junk.
Even though the quality of the poster I got doesn't seem like they put that much effort into it, they had an entire set of Critical Role Legend of Vox Machina characters with stuff that they say like all the time. That would have been cool. But I didn't have like $70 to shell out on all 7.
I will say, for anyone who's never been to a Comicon, it was a extremely inviting atmosphere. Everyone was super friendly. People were taking pictures left and right of everyone's cosplays and stuff, which was super cool to see. No one was like getting super upset or angry about anything. The prices definitely felt a little inflated, but that I feel like is any event that you go to that's just a public event that happens like once a year, because they got to make money off of it. It's a whole big thing. People come with tons of money, so you know. But they had anything. They had stuff for like anime fans, video game fans, movie fans, horror fans, book nerds, you know. Like I even got myself like a Zodiac horoscope like book that I haven't read through, but it's got like a whole bunch of different like poems and short stories and stuff that I'm excited. It was great. The second day, a lot less people, so extremely less packed. And we did the exact same path we did, because for the first day we did like a path to go through all the stalls and stuff and look at everything. Second day we did the exact same path but in reverse, just because by the end of the first day we were exhausted. We were just trying to get through all of them and just leave. Because we were walking around, we were sweaty, we were tired. It was really loud, so I was definitely getting like overstimulated and like noises and stuff and smells. There was definitely still a lot of body odor.
Yeah, you guys had impeccable timing on when to call it.
We called it as you were in the middle of your line.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, hey, you know, you still got to sign it, because I told the person, I was like, hey, well, we'll let him sign it, and then I don't have to stand in line for an hour the next day. But hey, you got your second one signed. You should be happy. But then, so after you got, you know, your second one signed and stuff, We left. We came back. Obviously, I went to the next day. There wasn't a whole lot that really happened on the second day. I would say it was basically just the normal routine of go in, like get your ticket scanned, check through all the booths, see if you want to buy anything, which I didn't really buy a whole lot because there was a lot of stuff that I thought was cool, but there was nothing that stood out to me so much that was like, I have to get this. However, the gentleman at the table, the booth, where they were doing like the Christian versions of like certain characters, so you had like the Christian border,
I almost bought one.
Yeah, and they had like Jar Jar Binks, they had like different actors, different movie characters and stuff. I talked to him. I want to get one of those personally done for a YouTuber I watch called The Platypus. Because
that's a little creepy.
No, because I'm going to send him the picture and be like, hey, look, just for you, man. It's going to be really stupid. If you knew the community, you would understand that it's really funny, not creepy.
I'm letting you know right now it sounds creepy.
Why? It's no different than you buying a picture of like another actor. It's literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, but the actor, they're usually... Like, I'm looking at the Ahsoka I just bought. Like, that's not the actress, that's Ahsoka.
Oh my
You're talking
gosh.
about, like, an actual person.
Yeah, but that's what these pictures were actual people. Some of them were the characters, and some of them were the actual people.
Oh, yeah, because actors are gods.
Moving on. But so then you got back to the apartment, and you actually just got to jump onto our Segway game, Diablo IV, and do some grinding, right? Right?
What's that?
Oh my goodness. So Diablo IV is a ARPG that came out, what was it, 2.5 weeks ago? 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
That's why we've been gone.
Yeah, so 2
Literally
weeks.
that, the Comicon, Spider-Verse, Transformers, which I haven't been able to go see. Like, literally just happened.
It's been a busy 2 weeks. Like, literally, Diablo 4 dropped. We hardcore played that. Then the Comic-Con, that exact, like, the second weekend of it. And then, Spider-Man. So we've been really just not here, but also definitely here. Diablo 4, it's been a good experience. I give it a 9 out of 10 just because there's been some stuff that's come out that might make Season 1 not fun.
I'm kind of bored of it.
Really? You're burnt out? Are you burnt out because I am a higher level than you and you can't do stuff on my level so you're getting carried through it? Or are you burnt out because you're playing it too little?
I think it's so repetitive at this point that it's just... It's like... What else is there to do?
So before I get into this debate, I just want to put forth that when you played the beta and you were contemplating buying it because you really had fun, I informed you that the end game was going to be nothing but rigorous looping grinding.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and you were just like, oh, okay, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then now you're already bored.
You can get burnt out of stuff.
No, yeah, I'm just... You said you were bored, not burnt out. That's the difference. It's a difference.
To me, they're the same. Tomato.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's why I was pronounced tomato. But no, it's great. So we've done... we did the story quest, and I thought the story was fantastic with one of the best video game cutscenes I've ever seen at the end.
Mister, I skipped the most important one.
Yeah, I skipped it and had to go watch it on YouTube as Double T was watching it because I didn't realize it was a cutscene because it didn't have the... For me, I don't know why it didn't have it for me. For me, it just had where you click escape and it skips it. It didn't have the hold escape. And all the click escape ones aren't cutscenes. They're just them talking over like BS that you already know about. But one of the best cutscenes ever. It's been out for 2 weeks. If you haven't played the game, I'm sorry, but it was Inarius versus Lilith, and it was the big bad showdown that ended it all.
I wish we would have been a part of that instead of just a cutscene.
I will say, yeah. What I was hoping for is I was hoping we got to fight Inarius. Like, we had to fight Inarius because he wouldn't kill Lilith. And then in order for us to kill Lilith, we had to fight him and then fight Lilith. That's what I was hoping for, but we didn't get that. We just fought Lilith, which it was a good fight. It was fun. It was a little tough. I'm still trying to get up to the level 100 fight one and get you guys caught up so that we can all do the level 100 Lilith, which is supposed to be harder, like a lot
That's the
harder.
thing that's keeping me going right now.
Is that level 100 low fight? It's supposed to be spectacular, but we'll see. It could just be that we get such good gear and rolls and stuff that we just destroy it instantly. So, you started out as a necromancer.
Yes.
I started out as the rogue class, which I still love over... I tried barbarian, which I'm still kind of playing. I tried necromancer. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy those classes as much as I enjoyed rogue. How about you? It's just been sorcerer or a necromancer, right? You haven't tried anything else right now?
Just necromancer, but when I do play sorcerer, I'm probably dropping lightning.
You're not going to do lightning?
Because I learned werewolf does...
Lightning.
Or, sorry, the druid werewolf does lightning stuff.
So you're going to go like a werewolf lightning build on your druid, and then your sorcerer, you might go fire?
Yep.
That would probably
Fire and ice.
Fire and ice, do it back and forth. That actually might be a lot more entertaining for you and give you a little more variety. So we did that. We did the world bosses. You fought two of them?
All three.
You fought all three. I fought all three. Avarice is the first one that was released on the beta. Avarice, the pestilent or whatever. Super simple fight. Avoid the poison. Do
I
damage.
technically haven't fought that one in the new game yet.
But you fought him before. He's the exact same. He's not any harder. He has the same health numbers and stuff. Fought him. He was pretty easy. Oh no, that was Shava the Pestilent. Avarice the Goldbound is a giant hulking figure that carries a treasure chest on a chain that, for lack of a better word, upchucks gold onto the ground that deals dot damage, like molten gold. His whole shtick is just treasure. He'll have like treasure goblins that run around that you can defeat to get more loot. Once you defeat him and get his loot, you can then break the chains on his treasure box to get even more loot out of that. So he's very loot focused. He was a fun fight. I enjoyed him. Everyone that I've played with has like, not going to name names, but the other people I've played with earlier, we did that boss fight. They had a blast. What was your thoughts on that?
On the bosses?
Yeah, because the third one is Wandering Death. And it's the only one of the three world bosses that actually has like a one-shot mechanic in it, where if you do get hit, it's just instant death.
They're bosses. The one that you just said was a little bit more tricky.
Out of the three, were any of them like more fun for you to fight, or were they all kind of the same?
Kind of the same.
Kind of the same? You didn't enjoy one more than the others?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, I guess the treasure goblin, because it makes you pay attention to the map.
I was going to say, yeah, Avarice the Goldbound is my favorite fight just because he has extra mechanics that you can do as like a side portion of the boss fight. And then Wandering Death was the hardest of the three, even though he was easy, because it's just you have to pay attention and not hit the one-shot mechanics. And then Ashava the Pestilent, he's a fun fight, but he's not difficult. He's definitely like a noob killer. I've noticed, like, if you're really new to the game, you're still going to have a hard time with him specifically because he has so much AoE poison. And poison right now is, like, the biggest threat in the game because it kills you so fast.
Yeah.
We did the Nightmare Dungeons, which have been a blast. They're basically just souped-up versions of original dungeons where you get, like, more loot, there's more stuff to do. Very late-game thing. They're pretty straightforward. What else?
I'm not really a PvP person, but you did it.
Yeah, I've done the PvP, actually quite a bit of it. I fought a few people under level. I fought a few people over level. I fought a few people on level. I fought solo against groups. I fought a group against solos. It's fun. It's definitely, as the devs said, they don't care about the balance of PvP in the sense of they don't want people getting one shot all the time consistently because of them not bouncing it, but they don't want it to be they're not going out of their way to bounce everything so that even if you're level 20 and they're level 80, you could still technically beat them. They don't care about that. If you're under leveled, you're getting one shot, deal with it, which I like because it's the penalty of you're taking this risk. And then it's also the, for the level 80 player, it's like, I grinded hard to get to this spot. I deserve that kill. It was a blast. I love the area. I love how it's limited to only two portions of the map. and those are the only places you can PvP, so you don't have to worry about like wandering around and just getting randomly one shot when you're trying to do quests. So what we've got, aside from all that, that was a lot of information to drop about the game, but that was like trying to get the basics in. This is season what I would call 0. It's the beta still of the game. It's early access in a way.
We just need to get season 1 already.
So, with the beta being said, everyone's been grinding their characters, and then season 1 supposedly is coming out in July sometime.
Oh my god.
So we still have a bit of grinding, but not a lot.
What is the point? They make you restart your character.
Yeah, so everyone has to restart their character at level 1, which can be tedious, but for the next season, season 2, when you still have to restart another character again, your original character from season 1 won't be deleted. They'll be saved onto the original server. So you can still play as them and still have fun.
Oh, cool. What happens once you hit all 10 slots that they allow you to have?
They're probably going to increase more. They're already in the talks about it.
Oh.
Because I'm not going to say that the devs have confirmed we're getting more slots, but there is talks in the ways that they can go about that, which usually just means more slots. But we probably won't get those until we're a few seasons in, because they don't want people to have one of every class every season. Their intention right now seems to be that they want people to pick a class each season and hard focus that, and then have at most one side character that's more for like fun and not hardcore grinding. So that would be 5 seasons theoretically before someone would need more slots.
My plan is to play a new class every season.
Which that'll be 5 seasons, and there's supposedly 2 more classes coming that haven't been hard confirmed but are really being leaked towards. So right now we have the 5 classes are Barbarian, Rogue, Sorcerer, Necromancer, and Druid. All very unique, all very fun. They have their ups and their downs. The 2 classes we might be getting are either going to be Paladin and Amazon, or one of those 2 might be Bard. People are really doubting it's going to be Bard just because we have Rogue, but we'll see. Because we don't really need a support class. The class we kind of need right now is like an AoE healer of some kind, which would be Paladin, supposedly.
I like a robot.
So what would be your biggest gripe for the game right now? Like, you had to pick one thing that you guaranteed changed for the better, what would it be?
How soon you get your horse?
How soon you get your horse? Really, that's the issue?
Like, I can't think of anything.
My biggest gripe is it's genuinely just the map and the, what's the word for it? I can't remember off the top of my head, but essentially, as you do stuff around the map, you get points, or you get renown score. That's what it is. Renown score that gives you more skill points, more max of a currency, more potion max, and then more paragon points, which are just really good for your character's growth early game.
I'd like to change my answer after this.
Okay, what's your answer?
Skill points and paragon point.
What specifically about skill and paragon? The limitation, the way
limitation.
You use them.
Once you hit level 50, you stop getting skill points.
Yeah, and you switch over to paragon points.
No, you should still be getting skill points. You leveled up.
I understand where you're coming from. I can agree with you to an extent, but I feel like if you were able to max out everything, there wouldn't be as much like thinking about it. It would just be, I'll just throw it wherever.
Well, that's to help, because this leads into now another gripe that I have. You have to refund everything to switch a build. So, like, you don't have like a save slot.
Yeah, we'll dive into that actually. And I want to say beforehand, anything I talk about is all stuff that has been mentioned, but is not word for word. So the way that I phrase it or put it may not be exactly what the devs have stated or how they intend to change it, but is the way that at least I particularly have understood what they're saying. So what Double T's issue is, it seems, is there's no loadouts. I can't play one build on my rogue and then instantaneously switch to a separate build when I get to content that requires a separate build. I would have to go through and manually do everything by hand, resetting, refarming gear, all of that sort of stuff. What a big chunk of the community has made like a valid point on is that if we get more loadouts, it would increase the playtime of the game, because every class there's tons. Someone went through and found the numbers, but there's essentially infinite builds depending on what you enjoy for every single class. So every class can be played infinitely different ways and still be fun and new and not feel like, oh, I've been playing this for 5 weeks. Why am I doing this build? Oh, because it costs tons of in-game resources to reset and tons of time to reset. So the community right now is blowing up like the Twitter and everything, trying to be like, we want like loadouts so that we can play the game how we want, whenever we want, at any point, which I want too. Even if we only got 3 loadouts, I'd have like a PvE loadout, a world boss loadout, and a PvP loadout. And they would all be completely different, so it'd be fun and fresh. And then I could switch to it at any point. But the devs have, in a way, stated that the reason they don't have this right now, and we could get it in the future, is they wanted people to pick a class and then take their way of playing that class and break it. That's why we've been getting a lot of nerfs, is they wanted to see how far people could break their classes and make them just so ridiculously strong with the most like powerful way of building them. And then they could be like, well, this is fun, or this is not what we were intending, you know? It's not perfect, it still kind of sucks. But until season 1 hits, I can give them a little leeway in my own personal opinion, because they're still trying to work out some kinks in the game. Does that kind of... I mean, it doesn't really soften the blow or anything, it doesn't make it better, that's just what we know. That's what we've been told. It doesn't make it great.
To me, it's just common knowledge to have it.
No, yeah.
In the game.
I'm really hoping we get it, and if we don't, it's gonna hurt the replayability of the game.
For me, it has to happen in season 1. If it doesn't happen after that, I'm not gonna go back to my let's say I play a rogue in season 1. I'm not gonna go back to rogue and waste my time spending all my saved resources when I have to start a new character next season.
That. And there is the chance that maybe we'll get loadouts, but in a different way, to where like you can save loadouts, so anytime you make a rogue, you can just switch to that loadout. But in order for you to like change that loadout, you have to spend more resources than you would have initially by doing it by hand, but you save time.
Yeah. Has to be your character can switch loadouts when he's in town at any point.
Yeah. My issue with the map is when you complete the map on your character and you start another character because you want to try out the other classes, you have to completely refill out the map. You have to do all the dungeons again. You have to do all of the side quests. You can skip the story, and skipping the story gives you a big heads up onto like, you know, being able to do stuff, but you still have to complete the map. And that's a big issue for a lot of people because I hate that I've already done the map and now I have to go and explore the map again. The devs are working on it right now, and they said that it's... So far, they're saying that it's supposed to release before Season 1, where the map will be completed. If you've completed the map once, it's complete for the rest of your characters moving forward. All of the altars of Lilith that you've gathered, which are one of the most annoying things in the game right now to grind. Once you do them, you're done. But just getting them takes so much time and looking at maps and stuff. Once you've found them on one character... the points that you get, the map progress you get, stays for every character. The only thing we don't know yet, which we're sure they're going to give us, is that the stat points, each Altar of Lilith gives you like a few stat points here or there. We don't know if we're keeping those. So you'll still technically need to grab them if you want the stat points, but it's only like 20 to each stat at the end of it. So it's not a lot. It's not enough to be like you have to get them. It's more so convenience of having those points. Which, again, would still infuriate the community because it's like you already did all the work to get them once. Why make us do it again?
Yeah.
But me and my buddies were talking, and we came up with a good idea. How about give us all of our stat points and stuff, give us our renown score completed so we get all the bonuses, but instead make it so that if someone wants to, they can go out of their way to refill out the map. They can go out of their way to grab all the altars of Lilith. They can go out of their way to do all the dungeons, all the side quests again. And if they 100% every single area, they get a bonus of some kind, like a new mount, a new armor skin, a new weapon that's you can't get anywhere else.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
No.
If they put in, I think if
because that would make me
effort,
have to do it. No.
It would make me have to do it too, and I would
No.
hate it, but I would do it for that.
No.
Oh, 100%.
No.
You can be upset about all you want.
No.
100%. I would be okay with that.
No.
Provide a counter argument.
No. That's my argument.
Your
No.
counter argument. No, I'm lazy and don't want to do stuff that the developers created the game and intended for us to do.
A game has to respect your time. That does not sound like respecting your time.
I mean, to be fair, it was like a $90 game. It respected my time enough when I got to finally freaking play it. Months we've been waiting for this game, and we've played 2 separate betas, and we finally got to play it, and it's genuinely been the second most enjoyable MMO I've ever played. Final Fantasy XIV still beats it. Nothing will beat Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sorry.
I want to go back to Zelda, but I just can't find the time because of this game.
To be honest, though, so Double T doesn't tend to play this game during the week, whereas I do. I've grinded it every day, whenever I can, because I have no life, and that's what I like to do with my spare time, because it's relaxing. I am now level 81, and I have been above level 70 for quite some time now, trying to get higher levels, and I've carried Double T and a few other people from World Tier 3 into World Tier 4. And it's been fun. It's been tough because I have to kill a lot of stuff, but I also get to have all the enjoyment of just, going through waves of enemies. But the only thing I don't like is that I feel like you guys aren't having as much fun as I am, because you guys, for the most part, just kind of have to stand there and just get XP for fun.
Oh, no, I'm still doing damage. It's not...
You guys are. But earlier on, originally, when we tried to do it, you really weren't able to do anything. But now that you have gear, you're able to participate.
No, I still was.
Were you?
Yeah, my skeletons do all the damage, not me.
Okay, let me get this straight. I play a necromancer so that I can enjoy the game and do nothing but stand here while my minions do stuff, and I don't want to put in enough effort to complete the map again.
Yes.
Oh my god. You picked the laziest class and I didn't even fully comprehend it till now. You've picked the most I can AFK here class ever, and barbarians have the ability to have millions of thorns damage on their armor.
Yes.
I should have taken necromancer, so you had to take sorcerer. Gosh dang it. Although, to be fair, honestly, and I'm not even exaggerating, I feel like if I had picked necromancer, I would not be level 81 right now. I'd be a lot further behind.
Oh no, I was still going to be necromancer. The Wrath Lord cosmetic.
You would have rerolled. You would have seen that and rerolled instantly.
Yeah, I have not taken that off yet
at
all.
You bought one $30 cosmetic and you're like, I'm never changing. This is my life now.
To be honest, there's enough good outfits for each class that I'm willing to spend another $30, and they will never change.
I hope Season 1 on the Battle Pass gives us some really cool stuff. Which we get the Battle Pass for free, right? You just get 20 extra levels off the bat?
There is a free, a gold, and a platinum. I think we automatically get gold and platinum this first time.
Oh, okay, but then after that we're going to have to buy it if we want that.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me, because that's how Battle Passes should be. I'm just glad we get the first one free so we can look at how the Battle Pass works and decide, is it worth it in the future? Because I'm just not a big fan of Battle Passes. I understand that's how games make money nowadays, but my goodness, man. Find a new way. Make a good game.
Dude, we gotta drop Tilted. Come on.
No, God, please no. At least pick a better game. At least pick PUBG.
What's that?
Sorry, I think this is gonna be our last episode ever on live air because we'll never be heard from again. I'm joking. That's it. Do you have anything else you want to add about Diablo? It's been a hectic 2 weeks with this game. Trying to get levels, trying to get gear.
Yes. Are you getting on after this?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on my barbarian if you want to power level me.
I guess that's where we're going.
Yeah.
I guess we don't even have to wait for the Wi-Fi to cut.